Hi everybody. Welcome and thank you for joining AAG's training portal demo today. Before we get properly started, can I just ask that any questions that you've got, if you just put them in the chat box, we'll get to them at the end of the session. I'd just like to introduce myself quickly. So my name's Jack Taylor, and I'm the marketing manager at AAG. Our aim is to take our clients' IT from functional to transformational, and that's why we believe that this training portal is definitely going to make that happen. We often find that businesses have Microsoft 365 implemented in some way. However, some are just using it for email, such as Outlook, or just Teams and maybe a little bit of SharePoint here and there. The vast scope of Microsoft's offerings we find are either underutilized or hardly ever used, which is why that we also find that training people to use those products, including the many updates that Microsoft put out, is a task for any business. So for this reason, we've asked John at Clip Training to go through a quick quick demo of this portal. Clip Training, I'm sure, John, you're going to give an intro, but they are the company that are behind the development of the portal. In order for partners such as AAG, um, it helps to just give our clients the sort of understanding that they are making the most out of the Microsoft suite. So I'm just going to pass you over to John now, who's going to give you a brief walkthrough of the portal. John, if you'd like to take the stand.
Great. Hi, good morning, everybody. Nice to see you all. It's morning for me here. I know it's your early afternoon, but yeah, Clip Training. Let me open up my screen here, take you through the portal a little bit. So Clip Training was developed by Tim, who is a Microsoft or managed a Microsoft MSP, and J. Peter Bruzzese, who's a Microsoft MVP for Office 365, and they got together to come up with a solution so that our clients could have an easier way to train and also a way to have maybe a self-service help desk at their fingertips. Um, in the old days, you would watch a Excel training maybe, and it was 3, 4 hours in length, and then you would forget it, right? You would walk away and you maybe use some of it, and you would be able to recall some of it. But for the most part, unless you took notes, there was no way to recall that. Or nowadays, a lot of people go to YouTube or they Google some of the responses. So using clip training is a very simple way for our customers to access all the training that they need and keep on top of what Microsoft is doing. As Jack mentioned, Microsoft nowadays, they update their content fairly quickly. Gone are the days where you would load a disk into your computer on 2010 Windows or Office and keep it for 5, 6 years, right? Now everything is cloud based, and frankly, they can update it sometimes overnight. So having a tool that is up to date with the training that's out there and at your fingertips and easy to find the content that you need, that's what Clip Training strives to do. So we have a team behind us that works to update the content, and we've made it really simple for the customer to actually get into Clip Training. So as you can see, I'm inside of my team's window, and just by using your Office 365 credentials, you can now just simply log in to Clip Training. So you're inside of Teams. This is important for your for management, obviously, because you want to keep your people off of sites like YouTube, like Vimeo, like Google, for the obvious reasons, right? They are designed to suck up your people's time, and the next thing you know, an hour later, and they're watching a video of the cat play the piano or other silly things going on. So this way you can manage what they're doing and the environment they're in much better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a little bit about clip training and show you how it works, where you would go, what it looks like for your end user. Like this, for instance, this is the end user portal page. And it gives them an idea of the skills, their skill increase, how much time they've spent, how many lessons they've viewed. More importantly, though, it gives them their learn path. So every customer can decide and create customizable learn paths for their end users. You can have multiple learn paths for the organization, depending on the needs. For instance, maybe some of you're very heavy Excel users, and you might want to train on just Excel. There's 10 hours of Excel training, so maybe you create a learn path so that your employees or new employees, maybe people you're onboarding, learn Excel or other applications that you need them to know. We've also have in here built in some gamification. So we kind of, this way we encourage proactive usage, and gamification has been known to help increase obviously usage and usage of training and of other services. So it's a very popular item to use in the training aspect. For instance, right, you have these milestone cards based on things that you've done, right? Clip award points. If you flip them over, it gives you your points based on your passing of tests and quizzes, how long you've been in the system with training, and then a motivator for me, because I end up sending out a lot of clips, because you can share these clips with people inside and outside of your organization. So there's a lot of really neat little trophies and things like that that you can help encourage your employees with. Another way to drive usage in training would be gift cards, tchotchkes, other things like that. I've seen a lot of clients use that to help encourage the training for their employees. You can come in here, I could come in here as a new employee, right, and look at the learn path that I've been assigned, and it tells me the percentage of how far I've gotten, what I have left, the due date when it's due, and then all the courses that I'm assigned to take. Now I'm a little behind, but you can create these, or you could use learn paths that Clip Training has already assigned or created, and you could actually customize the ones that we have, simply enough. So you can use our customizable learn paths for your company, or there's training inside of Clip Training to show you how to create your own learn paths so that you can really hone in on what you need for your employees. Kind of give you an idea of what the course library looks like. These are the private channels that we include, the channels that we include. Here we have Teams, right? A little over 5 hours of Teams training, including Teams calling. All of the Teams training and all of our training in particular looks very similar. This is just an update that I rolled out, but the training is just like this, a small section usually, with a little drop down here. We could see a little bit more about what this lesson is, right? Obviously getting started. But I can share this lesson. I could start it up and watch the lesson. And all of Clip Training's lessons, they will walk you through the task that you're trying to accomplish. I can go into theater mode and make it a little larger if I like. I can share this content with those in my office or outside of the office. The days when someone used to knock on your cubicle, hey, how do you do this in Excel? I can find a lesson and send it. Your help desk, your management, people can just send content to other people that they think is necessary or they want them to watch. And you could just cut and paste this link, send it in an email, and it dies after 7 days. So it goes out and they can watch it even if they're not on your portal and not in the Clip Training library. If we go back to the rest of the learning marketplace, you have, if you go back to the course library, you'll see also Office 365. A lot of the clients are moving from desktop into the cloud applications. And in here, you'll find those applications that you're looking for. So for instance, Office 365 Online seems to be a very popular course with our clients. And a lot of this is, I think, is due to the fact that it's the cloud um, versions of Word, of Excel, of PowerPoint. Again, you can see they're all done in these small, very simple to watch sections, right? 4 minutes in length. I could play the whole section if I like. If I'm looking for to do just training, I can play the whole section. And at the end of the section, I can watch a clip quiz. The clip quiz will walk you through just that section that you watched, ask you questions, allow you multiple choice, allow when you make a mistake, allow you to rewatch the video that you missed, and then move back on. At the end of the entire course, there's a clip exam. Clip exam will take you through everything that you just watched, all the sections, and then give you a proficiency rating at the end, and will allow you to print a course certificate of completion. This is important for a lot of organizations. A lot of times the employees keep these as a PDF on their desktop maybe, or they're used in QBRs, quarterly business reviews, or even annual reviews with your employees to see how much training they've accomplished over time. You can do that also as with the reporting that's built into the system, and I'll show you that in a minute. But if we go back into Office 365, you can see some of the content that's in here, right? You have Outlook on the web, Power BI, SharePoint, Power Apps. So a lot of, like Jack was talking about, a lot of the other apps that are in Microsoft system that don't get as much attention or aren't used as much by the employees, but are still great applications that you can come to learn about and use every day. Um, Microsoft Bookings and Flow and Office To Do. So there's a lot of great content in here. All of the content, or most of the content, is created by Microsoft MVPs. For instance, well, Jay Peter, our CTO, is a 9-time awarded Microsoft MVP for Office 365. The woman that creates our Teams training is a multi-year awarded Teams MVP for Microsoft. And a lot of the training, like I said, is done through MVPs or other subject matter experts. For instance, our Excel training, here you have a little over 10 hours of Excel. So essentials, power users, and pro level. So this is done by a gentleman, Bill Coulterman. He's been in the industry for a very long time. He knows this product inside and out. And the quality behind the product is spot on. No barking dogs in the background, no reading off of a placard. No, we tried to make it as engaging as possible for your employees. Let's face it, a lot of people don't like to train. So we tried to make it as intuitive as possible, so easy to find the content that you're looking for, but as inviting. We actually even hired a Disney designer to help with the layout and the color, the narration. Some of the narration you'll see are voiceovers from British or Australian actors, or American, and that way they can keep the audience's attention. So there's no dryness, no trying to keep you involved and engaged. Here you also have Microsoft PowerPoint, uh, Outlook for power users, Visio, all the other apps that you may be looking for or your employees may need. If we go back into, you also have Windows training, which gives you some of the first look into Windows 11, which will be rolling out soon. Our team is already starting to work on that, but you have your Windows 10 training as well. Again, all the training is done in such a way that it's easy to consume, easy to watch, and to move on. Um, Last but not least, well, as we go through some of these are a little are older courses that we still find value for some of our clients, but these can be easily customized and pulled out. So if you don't need to show 2016, 2013 Office Legacy, it's easy for the end user. Remember, this portal was designed for end users. It's non-technical in nature. So you can customize a lot of what's here. I can pull these 3 courses out so that the end user doesn't see them. In the additional training window, there's some courses around basically Office 101, Microsoft 365, what it is, 101. So very basic courses that a lot of your end users may enjoy that are just getting started or learning more about Office and its capabilities. One of the new features to Clip Training is the ability for end users or AAG's customers to uh, import or stream and host some of your own content. So some of you may have content that you need to share internally with with your employees. Maybe it's onboarding videos or content. Maybe it's security or other operating procedures, things like that that you need for your employees. And maybe you have them in a shared folder or somewhere else. Well, Clip Training makes it very simple. You can easily have this streamed. AEG would help. You can have it streamed through the system or host content in the system and make it available to your employees only, or even just groups of employees only. Additionally, maybe that there's content out there on YouTube or Vimeo, other content providers that is valuable for your organization. For instance, I was working with a company and they work with a lot of dentists. So they created a channel like you're seeing here, all about dentistry. And they would go out and find news articles. They would go find video content, other things that were specific to their industry, and they could stream them through the system. So here's a great example of Zoom, right? We don't sell Zoom training; it's free. It's free on YouTube, as well as a lot of other great content, but you can stream it through here, cutting out all the commercials and and cutting out all the commercials and all the extra stuff, and just take the great content and put it in this container, lay it all out. It can be laid out simply for your employees so that they can access the training, but again, keeping them off of YouTube or Vimeo. But what's nice about this is that even if this is your own private content that maybe you've created, or this is the public content that you go out and find and you want to source, you can still use the learn tracks in Clip Training's portal. You can still use the gamification. You could create assessments or have assessments created so that your employees could take a test around some of the content that you have to make sure that they got the real sense of what you want them to watch. Make sure that they didn't press play and walk away and go get a cup of coffee. So there's a lot, you have a lot of control over that content once you stream it through this system. That's been a real big plus for a lot of companies because they think they don't need a full-blown LMS. LMS can be very expensive. They're necessary in some environments, right? A lot of environments, but in some cases you don't need all of that. They're very expensive. Then you have to go buy the content. In this case, you have all the content, the Office and window content built in, and you can now attach some of your own content and really make it your own for your employees, and then use that over time and really grow from the ground up your solution for them. This is a very popular feature in Clip Training. This pre-built this private channels. You can see some of the other content that we went out and found on YouTube, just to stream through here, so that the employees have what they need. Again, with keeping them off of those file sharing sites or those sites that will tend to suck up their time. AAG can work with you to develop that and to migrate your content, to manage it for you. That's all part of the service that's built into the system. Um, Last but not least, for the training materials, there's the Learning Marketplace, where you can find other content that Clip Training has not created, that we've sourced through third party. For instance, right now we have security awareness training. This was just released. And the security awareness training is a little over 8 hours in length. And it gives you, it's a nice step below. A lot of you have heard of some of the more expensive programs that are out there. This is a nice, the middle of the road approach to content that that you'll need, right? IT, cybersecurity for small businesses, for individuals. There's even some what if security scenarios. You know, if you get a call from certain people trying for phishing or whaling or ransomware attacks, those attempts to get illicit information from you, right? Holistic security for end users, security for when you're traveling, you know, what to look out for, how to protect yourself and your equipment. And then inserts, PDF inserts and posters for around the office so that you can remind your end users to be vigilant, to stay on guard, right? We have to admit that the end user is typically the weak link in the chain of security for any organization. So keeping them involved. When you purchase a course like this subscription lasts for a complete year. So a lot of times I've seen customers create learn tracks and make sure that their people watch it multiple times, maybe twice a year, just to keep it in front of them. There's some great new information in here by Lucy Security. It's a whiteboard animation that makes it easy to watch. A little attack simulator now training, and Microsoft Intune training. So a lot of great content built into the system. Now, don't let this number scare you, and I apologize. This is the pricing is built into the portal, and it scales depending on the size of the organization. So I have thousands of end users in my system, so it shows the most expensive price. For yours, it'll be a lot less expensive. Um, Under administration, if you wanted to, as an administrator on site, you want to manage some of this on your own, you can. Again, the training is built into Clip Training that allows you to manage the system. But for just to kind of give you a quick idea, I go into one of my customers out of Australia. Oh, let me go. And this is a church out of Australia that we're still managing, and I can come in here as a portal administrator, and if these were all my users, I could come in here and run reports, and I could see the training that's going on in the system. I could see everyone's training, how many lessons they've taken, how long, what lessons they've passed. I get as granular as how long they've been in the system, how many minutes they watch certain courses. So this is a nice, easy report though that I can actually um, export and use, like I said, in reviews and things like that, or just simply just to see who's doing what, who's working with the system. There's a lot of these reports built in so that you could manage your end users simply enough and make sure that they're getting the most out of their training. The dashboard here for portal administrators, again, allows you at a quick glance to see what your end users are doing, what they're watching, how much time they've spent what the awards that they're winning, because those awards are attributed to courses that they've passed, right? And then in addition, you could see what's coming. You know, what courses are out that are coming up in the near future, what was recently released, but you can see PowerPoint 2019 Pro is being released soon. Outlook 2019 Essentials is being updated and released. So I can see what's coming. I can see the top lessons that my clients are watching or my employees are watching, and I can see the top courses. So there's a lot of great information, again, built into the system, including how to use the system. And a lot of times, this is one of the first learn paths that you might want to create is a learn path for new learners so that they can understand how to use clip training, how they can share lessons, how they can use the search feature, how they can search for content in here and then find that content and watch it, right? So all of that is built in as well as admin training. So if you're a portal admin on site and you need to know how to add users or edit users, how to run reports, how to create reminders, now we've released what we call drip campaigns. So you could actually create a drip campaign that would send out a lesson to every user on whatever schedule you'd like that to happen. You can learn how to do all of that training. It's all built into the system so that you can really manage a lot of this yourself and really drive the learning for your end users, particular to what your needs are and what your end users' needs are. So that's that's pretty much the overall view of clip training and what's involved. You'll see some other things in here that typically these are for the partners like AAG. So there would be some stuff that you wouldn't find in here, but for the most part, this is what you would see as a customer. This is the training and all the mechanisms that are involved. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions or go back through some of the training. And if Jack, you want to jump in and see if there's any questions or anything I missed that you're interested in, please let me know.
Brill, feel free to shout out anybody if you've got a question or put it in the chat box. No? Brill. All right, perfect. Thank you, John. I will just put a quick link in the chat box actually. for if you'd like a free trial, 14-day free trial for up to 20 of your users for the portal, and we can get that set up pretty much straight away. So if that's something that you're interested in, then feel free to let me know. But other than that, I think that's about it. Thank you, John. Thanks everyone for coming. You're on mute, John.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for taking the time out today to take a look at clip training. Again, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer any questions or go through this training again.
Well, thanks everyone. Thanks a lot.
Take
Bye.
care.